Welcome to Soothing Pod's meditation. In today's meditation, we will be exploring the concept of self-trust, uncovering what it really means to trust ourselves, and how we can cultivate this capacity within ourselves. So, to begin, take a moment to find a comfortable seated position where you can sink into this presence uninterrupted for a short while. Let your spine be long, your shoulders relaxed, and your heart space open. If you haven't already, you can gently close your eyes when you're ready, turning inwards by noticing the gentle ebb and flow of your breath. And as you watch this subtle flow into and out of the body, know that you do not need to force the breath to be any different than it is now. Simply follow its path as it moves in and as it moves out, noticing the way the chest or the belly move with it. Each breath is an opportunity to arrive right where you are, to come back to the simplicity of this moment. And as you watch the breath, you might try expanding your awareness to also hold the physical body. Noticing how your physical body has presented itself today, become aware if there is any tightness or tension that might like to be released. And if you encounter unnecessary contraction, see if you can gently and compassionately soften it, perhaps relaxing the forehead, the jaw, or the belly. If there is discomfort within you that cannot be consciously released now, you might consider sending it a nurturing, loving breath. And once the body is as relaxed as it can be, while still being held upright, let your attention narrow back in on the breath once again. Follow the natural inward and outward movement of the breath for a short while now. And if the mind wanders, know that this is entirely natural. As soon as you become aware that you have drifted into thought, just come back to the breath. Again and again, let this flow of air ground you deeply into this present moment. Now, when thoughts arise in the mind, which they inevitably do for all of us, we can become curious about the energy they carry. We might ask ourselves, are they self-doubting? Are they self-denying? Do they harbor fear, mistrust, and self-limiting judgments? When self-trust is in question, we tend to find ourselves doubting our intuitions and our actions. We might be excessively judgmental of ourselves, questioning if we are making the right choices or following the right path. Trusting ourselves is difficult sometimes, because each one of us experiences times in our life when our inner voice leads into difficulty, or times when the voice of our mind and the whispers of our heart are at odds. In addition, many of us experience moments in childhood when we were not allowed or encouraged to trust our own judgment. Perhaps our own feelings and authentic voice were dismissed or criticized, leading us to be uncertain about our own judgments. Now, finding and cultivating trust in ourselves is not about being perfect. It's not about never making mistakes or always being right. Self-trust is about listening to our inner wisdom, believing our resilience, and opening our heart to the path as it unfolds. We can cultivate self-trust simply by tuning into presence, inner strength, and the breath. By remaining open and curious, we develop the discernment required to sift through all the competing voices in our head. And we strengthen the power we hold to come back to our innate wonder and resilience at any moment. So take a moment now to return your attention to your body, strengthening your spine if it has relaxed and letting your heart space open to yourself and the world before you. Soften your belly and let your breath flow effortlessly and gracefully through you. And take this time just to listen, to compassionately and non-judgmentally observe the voices that appear in the mind. You do not need to search for anything here. Simply let your inner elder listen to what is moving through you. Believe in its capacity to discern between fact and fiction, fear and truth. You do not need to find any answers here. Simply see if you can trust yourself in this very moment. Can you believe in your inherent wonder and strength as you breathe mindfully? Before we end this practice, I invite you to repeat a few words of affirmation to help nourish the self-trust that is being cultivated within you. I listen to my inner wisdom with openness, compassion, and curiosity. I am strong, resilient, and resourceful. I trust myself right now in this unfolding moment. Let all inner whispers dissipate now as you come back to the flow of your breath. Notice the earth beneath you now, reconnecting you to the physical world that supports you. and bring a bit of light movement into your body, perhaps starting with your hands and your feet. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes to the world around you. I hope you enjoyed today's session. See you again.